This is a finished version of CAD 10. Well, semi-finished because we still have to put dimensions on it. If you look at the directions for 10, it says make a 3-view drawing of the part, front, top, and right side. The front and the right side are already completed. You have to finish the top view. Then it also says dimension the views with 2-place decimal dimensions. So that's what we're going to look at right now. But this is the final or finished solution of the top view. Very similar to, once you get a drawing system established, you can kind of keep that going for all your drawings. I still like to use the layer. You still have all your layers. Remember, every time you create a new drawing, you got to open up the seed file, the seed.dwg, and then do a save as. The seed file has all the attributes, the layers, the dimension properties set up in it, so you don't have to create that. If you're making a drawing and you don't have all these layers showing, you're not opening up the seed file. Okay? And you need to do that so you can have the different layers. And it has the dimension properties, which we're going to go over right now. So remember to open the seed file, then do a save as to rename the seed file as whatever CAD drawing you're working on. Okay, so there's our finished solution, 3 views. We can always move the views. Like if we need more room between them for dimensions, we can always put a window around it and move them, space the views further apart. Okay, so I might move them out a little bit. Make sure your ortho's on. All right, so you can have. Just make sure your ortho's on. So if your F8 is off, that means you can't move it horizontally. So turn your F8 on, and move it horizontally out a little bit. Make sure we get this right. There we go. I just wanted to show you these icons down here again. Your ortho is down here again. This is version 15. In version 14, all these icons were on the left side at the bottom. There's really no different in 15. It's all the same. They just move the icons to the other side, to the right side at the bottom. Okay. Let's look at dimensions. So you've got your home tab, which we're normally at. What we want to do is go to annotate. That's the annotate tab. And in here, you have the dimension properties right here, okay, in this box. All the properties exist in this little flyout arrow, so it's going to click this little flyout arrow right there, and you get the Dimension Style Manager. You are given a style called Standard. That is the standard style, and everything is derived off of that. And if you want to modify, say you can create a new style, or you can modify the existing style. All right, well, we're just going to modify. We're actually just going to look at. We're not going to modify, so we're just going to look at it. But let's just hit modify, and we'll start with the left tab lines. And there's all this stuff could be changed based on a drawing. It's all set up for you, so you don't have to do anything. I'm just showing you where it's at. The next one is symbols and arrows. I've got the arrow size set to .125, which is 1/8 of an inch. The center marks are set to none. You could put mark, and it puts a little mark in the middle. See how the little picture updates? If you put line, it puts a center line in there. I don't like using the center line because it puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entities, and they're just basic, simple, small lines. They don't do anything. So I always set it to none, and then I put my own center line in there. Okay? The next tab is text. I have the text height set for 0.120, which is basically 1/8 of an inch. If yours is different from that, you need to set this 1/8 of an inch, or use the seed file, because everything's set up there. The next tab is fit. Okay, I have this one box checked, place text manually, so you can place your text however you want. I have the dimension scale as 1, so make sure it's at 1. The next tab, primary units, I set to decimal. Alright, and we're at 3 place decimal. Now our assignment says it needs to be at 2 place decimal, and I'll show you how we can change that. We could do it here, but I'm not going to mess with it here. We'll do it on the drawing. There are alternate units, so if you're doing metric English conversion, you could do that. And then there's tolerances, which we have set to none. So I'm just showing you where these things are at. So when the time comes, I think in CAD, maybe 12, we'll start putting some tolerancing on a drawing. Show you how to do that. Hit OK. Hit close. Now basically, all you have to do is copy the dimensions as they exist on the print. So if I want this overall 4.26, you can hit the dimension. It's a linear dimension, and you want to click. Okay, I can't click in the endpoint because my object snap isn't on. So turn your object snap on. Click here. Click there. Drag the dimension up. All right. See how you can place text manually? Just place it somewhere. If you think, well, hey, this is not where I want it, you can grip it and then grab it again and get the little red box, and then you can drag it. If you turn your ortho off, F8, then you can dynamically drag it around. All right, putting it here is not a good spot because it's kind of get cluttered. You want to make sure it's kind of centered in between the extension lines, right there. Now to change the decimal space on it, or there's 3 places now. I want to set it to 2. You grip it, right mouse click on it, and go to precision. Okay, so you grip it, right mouse click, precision, and then you can set it to 2 place. Just simple as that. And that's why I want to do it. Now we also want to put this on the dimension layer. Alright, so if I go back to the home tab, alright, and you can click it on, grip it, go up here to layer, and turn it to layer D, which is dim. That's for dimension. And notice it turns blue. Okay. I like color on the screen because then I can differentiate what is dimension, what is extension, what is object, what is center line, what is hidden line. You need to have that so when some people walk by and look at your drawing, they can see the different line types. And then if we hit the line value, all right, which these lines are not showing up, again, we'd have to click on these and turn them on layer. Looks like, what layer is not? L. We'll just leave it go for now. Maybe we'll show the line weights. Alright, let's show some other dimensions on. So go back to annotate, dimension. Now the linear is either horizontal or vertical. So I'll put a dimension, let's go in here, from here to here, and drag it out. That's 0.76. We go from here, let's go another dimension from that to that end point. See, when I put the center line, I pick the end point of the center line and drag it out here. Looks like they have the dimension from this corner to that center line here. It's 1.26. I'm going to put the dimension diameter, and I'll pick up the circle and bring it out over here. I don't want to stick it through here. That's a bad place to put it. You don't want to cross dimension lines. You would want to put it out there. I always like to stick it out here someplace where it's not crossing. So there's that. Let me go back to linear. Put a dimension here, 2.38. Now notice they're still black and they're still 3 place. We'll change them all at one time. So I got that one. I need the 1.26 at the top. So click here, and I will just pick here again and then bring that up here. All right. See how this dimension should be in between that. I wouldn't want to put this dimension right up like that. That you're crowding. That's too crowded. You wouldn't want to put it this close to the object. And whatever you do, don't dimension on the object like that. That's a That's not a good practice. Don't dimension on the view. Keep the dimensions outside the view unless you have to put it inside. But we don't have to put it inside. Let's do it right there. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and change all these. I think I got them all. I got that. Make sure you got all your dimensions. So we're going to click and just grip them all. Grip them all at one time. Right mouse click, precision to place. And we can change them all. All right. Now if you want to do match properties, go back to home. You go back to match properties. You can click this, and then you can make sure they're all blue as well. So that's a nice way of doing the match properties. So let's put dimensions on the side view. Go back to annotate here. We got a dimension here to here. That's a 1/2 inch. We go from here to here, 0.62. Now if you can't fit it in, I think it'll fit in, you can always drag it outside. That's not too horrible. Okay. Looks like we have an overall from here to here, 2.5. Here to here, 0.62. Here to there, which is here. Now that one I don't want here, so I'll just grip and put that one outside. Just like that. Looks like we got another dimension here. Here to here, 0.5. From here to here, 0.62. I don't put it on the view, putting it over here. Did we get them all? I think we did. So then we'll go ahead and grip them. Let's try this. Since these are blue and 2 place, let's see if we can match properties. Let's grab this one and see if see it matched the property. It made it blue and it made it 2 place as well. So we can just go ahead and do all of them. See, match properties is a great tool to do. So that's it. You've got you got your 3 views. Well, I'm not quite done yet. I want to insert. Let's go ahead and insert. And we want to do the B size. So go browse. B size Sinclair. Full scale. Just bring it in here. All right. Now what I may have to do, see, you don't want your views on inside your border. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to move this view in a little bit. F8, turn your ortho on. Bring it down to here. Alright, we'll go back and move this here. Turn your ortho off so you can move it around. There you go. Now you see how I fill the space? I've got a little space here, got some space in between the view. You're not on the title block. Looks pretty good. There's your 3 views. There's your border. Let's insert your more options. Go to browse, title block text, open that up, hit OK. The corner's right there. The part is, this is CAD 10. Cap lock's on. CAD full. It is 4/21/16, and this would be CAD 10. And OK, and verify that that's there. Again, if you screwed this up down here, you just double click on it, and you get back. You get back to your dialog box that you can change. Again, I double click on the mouse ball, do a zoom extents, and then you can export it as a PDF and then put it in the Dropbox. That's it for CAD 10.